Hello, my name is Anthony Ross, and I'm a fantasy illustrator. This video is a drawing demonstration where I drew Willem Dafoe acting in the movie Nosferatu. And so he's a very spooky looking vampire character. And I drew this on black paper using white colored pencils. And the audio in this video is the actual audio I was listening to during the time of creating it, which is a Rick Rubin interview. And I thought I would share it as it is because the insights in this interview are very fascinating and good for artists. And it shows the actual process and the authentic reality of the moment, which is that I was drawing this video or drawing this picture and listening to this interview at the same time. So this isn't the whole process. It's cut down, it's snipped into a shorter video, but you do see the drawing from start to finish. And if you'd like to experience more of my artwork and my teachings, you can find me at school.com/creative and join my fantasy art community there. Thanks so much for watching and enjoy the video.
Realized recently what great means, but I didn't know. Most of my life I was aiming for great, but I didn't know what that was. And I've come to realize that great means it's a devotional kind of greatness. It's a gift to the universe. It's a gift to God.
I love that you're an avid meditator and that you walk around barefoot pretty much every single day.
I'm confident with artistic expression because my only goal is to make something that I like, and I know that I can keep working on it until I like it. I know what I like. If I don't like it, I keep working, and eventually we get to a place where we like it. And it turns out that when you make something truly for yourself, you're doing the best thing you possibly can for the audience. That's where the courage of the artist comes in, which is, this is who I am. And in my case, I'm less concerned with the result. So I think that's a lot of it. Is like, I'm not making it for someone else to get their reaction. I'm making it to have my experience. And as soon as I decide to share it, in my mind, it's a success because I care about it enough. It's like we're not thinking about singles. We're not thinking about chart position. We're not thinking about anything but making the most beautiful, honest, true thing we can. No one could convince you that the thing that tastes bad to you tastes good to you. I think dividing them is a really healthy idea. And just having a job that supports you so that you can be free in your art is ultimately what's best for the art. So many people live an unhappy life sticking to a program from when they were younger, being in a room where something's not happening and all of a sudden it's happening and you don't know why and you don't know what changed. It's a very exciting feeling.
So after 4 decades of doing this, you still get surprised by hearing new things.
All the time.
Really?
All the time. Why does this work with this? Who knows? And if I were to tell you the idea or someone were to tell me the idea, I would listen to their words and think that's a terrible idea. And then we try it and it's remarkable. And then they played it. And at first it didn't sound good, but very quickly it got great.
Someone in the first episode says, Rick helps people be the best version of you.
If you have someone like Laird in your life, being around people like him make you better at being a human being. I'm always in different parts of the world, and I'm not really part of the system. So if you got signed to a record company and they showed you a list of all the producers to work with, I'm not on anybody's list.
What do you see is the thing that holds people back the most from being their most creative and best self?
I think it's being concerned what other people think and a feeling of that the people who make great things are somehow special and that they're not special. And that's just not true. That everyone has the capability to make great things. I come from a punk rock background, so punk rock, it was a do-it-yourself mentality. I think there's always a way. You don't have to wait for permission from someone else. I think that's a big part. People waiting for permission to actually make their art. As long as I can make another one, it's a success.
I think something you said was, I have no skill set. It's all intuitive. It's not what's in my head. It comes through me.
Yes. I'll say when we're starting a new project, I always have anxiety.
Really?
Always. Because I don't know what's going to happen. It's either going to happen or it's not going to happen. So, but then usually sometimes it's the first day, sometimes it's the third day, sometimes it's the second week. where something happens like, whoa, what was that? How did that happen? So because we have, the reason it's so scary is because we have so little control over it. That's what's scary.
No control.
None. The first thing that comes to mind would be Johnny Cash, because he had gone, 25 years of not having success. And he had been dropped from 2 labels. And when I signed him, he didn't even know why I was interested. We went through hundreds of songs and then picked a handful to try to record. And when we went into the studio with the band, it didn't have what the living room recordings had. There's a vulnerability required for the artist that if you're confident to the point that it disguises your vulnerability, that doesn't work.
It's almost like what I'm hearing is this is a really interesting point of like you just have to have courage to be vulnerable, which is not really confidence. It's more of like you just gotta, if you're unwilling to be courageous with your vulnerability, you just won't be able to share your art. She came out and she's like, guys, I'm actually really nervous. This is my first time playing, kind of with a man with these new songs in a while, and I'm revealing myself of these new songs. You could sense this, vulnerability, which was actually beautiful.
It's like humanity breathes in the mistakes, it's what's not ordinary. If it was machine-like perfect, it's not so interesting. It's cookie cutter. Right? It's all the same. So it's the edges, it's the frayed edges that make it interesting.
I've never been drunk or high in my life. I don't think I've met many people who's never been drunk or high like me, so that's pretty interesting. How do you view that of when artists are working with you? Are they smoking? Are they drinking, when they're with you? Or do you try to help them eliminate that to clear their mind?
I want people to do what they want to do. And then I met them years later, and they had gotten clean. And I felt like it was a different group of people. And then we ended up making Blood Sugar Sex Magic, which ended up being a very successful album for them. And then I produced most of their albums since. When they were clean, and some people have told me that they hear music in a different way when they smoke, and they can access their creativity. But one of the things about when you're in pain, you tap into things you're looking for. You're not satisfied in your condition, so you're yearning for change. And sometimes the energy of yearning for change can lead to really beautiful music. Anything is possible at any time. Wow! Just if you do the work. I believe in it 1,000,000%. It's something that I've experienced before I knew what it was. So when I say it's like, I feel like it has to do with the purity of the intention behind what you're doing. If your intention is pure and you're doing it for the right reasons, it seems like things tend to work out. It's a devotional kind of greatness. It's a gift to the universe. It's a gift to God. Wow. If you're making a gift to God, there's no greater, you can't put more into it than that. I think it's always a version of doing the work, of finding your way into what it is that the universe wants you to do, and then really dedicating yourself. It's not about shortcuts. It's not about getting it done. It's not about a 4-hour work week. I loved it. I loved it, but that's not. It's like whatever it takes for it to be all it could be. Commitment and total commitment, and dedicating your life to making the best things you can. Whatever art is the art, and then whatever happens after happens after. If you make something that you love, I know if I make something I love, if more people like it, that's only a good thing. Probably the biggest one is nobody prepares you for success, and you may have a dream of what it's like, and you may think the success is going to fill some hole you have in your soul, and then and you work your whole life for the success that's going to fill the hole, and finally you get the success, and the hole's the same, and it creates hopelessness. The chatter, you realize that your thoughts are not you, and that left to your own devices, there'll be a lot of voices in your head just going all the time, and they're not you, and they don't mean anything, and they're really repetitious, and they're not working in your best interest. I would say meditation. Without meditation, I don't know who I would be. It's such a big part of who I am. Informed so many, everything. I think staying out of it, like not participating in that game. It's someone else's game. And I think if you embrace your part, it's your best chance being true to yourself, not saying, oh, well, those people over there are getting popular doing this other thing. I don't really like it, but it's really working for them. I love it when an artist does something unexpected, whether it works or not. It's like they're being true to themselves.
Right.
They get to be a better artist doing that. I can say the first time I was in the studio with Carlos Santana and he started playing guitar, it felt like this is coming from another planet. The simplest thing. He can make anything interesting just the way he plays it. Not the parts. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be, look at me. I would say dedication to the craft, whatever their craft is, dedicating themselves to it, taking it very seriously, and being free to play in it. But you don't know that until you maybe banged your head against the wall for 6 months working on it, and then you realize, you know what, that first 5 minutes was the best. A big part of it is just not screwing up what's good.
In the end, the sum total of the essence of our individual works may serve as a reflection. The closer we get to the true essence of each work, the sooner they will somehow, at some point in time, provide clues as to our own. Inspiration is the rocket fuel powering our work. It is a universal conversation we yearn to be a part of. And I think that's really cool. Because so many of us are chasing inspiration, but a lot of times it comes to us, right?
It comes.
And it's almost like getting out of the way and allowing for it to come in.
All we are is made up of everything we take in. So the places we're in, the people we're around, the media we consume, that's all we are.
You create a blank canvas every time an artist comes in, which is just so cool to think about.